Hello and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and in this episode we're going to talk about 3 different Windows 10 mobile games again. Those games are going to be in this episode, of course. The Climb Square game, we are going to have a look at Fighter Evil and at Lost Fish. My name is Gerald. As always, I've got a couple of different things with me, but we are not going to use them at the moment because none of the games we are playing in this episode is going to be something playable in the Continuum mode, and most of them don't make any kind of sense to use them with a keyboard or anything. You can in some situations, but in most situations you will have to go to the touch plane with these games. Okay, so what you can see here already is of course a Continuum experience, so you see everything desktop-like more or less. And in the desktop-like experience, the Continuum experience here, we can't really play the games we are going to try in this episode. So I'm going to move over to the mirror mode to show you everything that's going on the smartphone, because at the moment on the smartphone you see more or less a touch pad, something like that. So you could use that to more or less navigate through this desktop-like experience, but you're not going to, because in this episode, as mentioned before, we don't have anything that is really suitable to be played with this. So how to go to the other mode? You go to the 3 points menu here, and if you click on that, then there is the display settings, of course, and then just scroll down a little bit, go to the advanced settings, and if you go into there and go to mirror the screen more or less, then you will see everything that is going on the smartphone exactly like it is shown on the smartphone. Okay, just on the big screen. So in this case we are going to use this because it's the only mode we can use for these games. And if you want to know more about the Continuum aspect of all of this, or what Continuum is and why you can play desktop-like experiences, or maybe even use it as a work scheme or whatever, it's up there in the corner. I have a couple of other videos there where I'm going to talk about that much more in depth than I can in each and every of my videos here. So have a look there and you will get more information about all of this. So let's start with the first game for now. As mentioned before, I'm just going to turn around, use my smartphone, and I hope you can see everything on the big screen then. In the end we are starting with Climb Square. For that, of course, I will have to go out here. So go to the start menu more or less, go to the all apps part, and in here I'm just going to put in climb, and as you can see, Climb Square, there it is. We are just going to click on that and I will show you what this game is all about. If you want to install it by yourself, of course you will have to go through a little bit of hoops nowadays, because the Windows 10 mobile store was more or less shut down, but there's still an option to get everything. I'm going to put in the links in the description down below. You can download it from there, and of course there is a description how to install everything still on this smartphone. Okay, as you can see, made with Unity in the personal edition, and we are in. It's going to load, and we have a very simple game in this case. In the end, it's this little small square in the end. It's really nothing more. And what you will have to do now is you will have to swipe. So this is one of the games you really can't use anything else, more or less, because it's not going to work out. It's hard enough with swiping on your smartphone, if you ask me. And if you swipe to one of the sides, he's going to grab to the side here. But everything is going to move down, so you will have to do it in a certain kind of fashion and in a certain kind of timing. Problem is, there are going to be blue parts on the walls and some kind of obstacles and stuff like that coming, which you will have to avoid while doing this. And this game is pretty hard, and I think most of the games we are playing today are pretty hard, just to let you know. But this one is too. So, how to start it? Just grab your finger or take your finger and swipe somewhere, and as you can see, we can go up now. You can't go below the screen, of course, and you're going to die. And as mentioned before, you will have to avoid those blue parts, which isn't easy. As you can see, in this case, you would have only had this small little part in between somewhere there when you started, and there you would have to go. As you can see, it's all about high score in this case, so you will have to go and try to more or less match yourself or get better than yourself. And your high score is of course, your high score is of course going to be attached to how often or how long you are going to survive. So let's try it again. As mentioned before, it's pretty hard if you ask me. A little bit too hard for my taste, in some situations at least, especially because it feels a little bit like you're not doing anything, because it's always going down, 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 and there's nothing going on in the background or something other than the pattern which is moving, and I often just have the feeling I'm drowning more or less in this game. So is it fun to play? I don't know. Just try it out. I think it's a little bit too hard, it's a little bit too much drowning going on, or whatever you want to call that. And it's really not very easy to play. Anyway, it's a game, it works. So let's see how long we can take it. I think even now, I'm a little bit better now, and I just hit it. In the end, the great thing about it is it's going to slow down a little bit depending on how fast you're going up and stuff like that. So that's a little bit of a better version, but still it's very hard to play. Just try it out. If you like this kind of game and you like the challenge, then it's maybe your game, I don't know. So let's go out here and let's have a look at the second game. The second game is called Fighter Evil. And Fighter Evil is a pretty hard one too, I would say. It's more or less something where you're really going to be in a third person situation and you're fighting some kind of evil enemies which are trying to approach you. And you're looking from above on a third person view more or less, and there is your fighter part. And you can run around, shoot in different directions and stuff like that, and they are going to approach you from different kinds of sides. It's very dark, so I don't know if we are really good at capturing everything, but just to show it to you, I'm trying it, and we will see. There are a couple of lights positioned all around, so some stuff like a fireplace and stuff like that, which is better, more or less visible for some reason, whatever. And all around there are a lot of different kinds of monsters, aliens, I don't know, nobody tells you. And so let's have a look at what's going on here. For that I'm going to go in here, and it's called Fighter Evil. So maybe they're demons or something, I'm not sure, we will see. The game itself, for some kind of reason, it looks a little bit like something that was adapted from the desktop or something, because there are, of course, some kind of more or less joysticks which you can use, which of course are produced for the smartphone itself, but they are very, very tiny in the edges and stuff like that, and you really have to be very, very careful where you are using them, because if you're going out too much, they're not going to register anything anymore, and then you're going to die. Easy. And of course this whole interface looks very, very desktop-like, because you only have play and exit in this case. I'm just going to go with play, of course, which is hard enough to select here, but we can do that. So if you have a look at that, it's a very, very small interface here. And there, I don't know if you can see it because there are going to be mirroring stuff and stuff like that. There is our action figure, more or less. And we can run around here, shoot in different directions. If you shoot, of course, you can see more because the firing will more or less do something. And there is one of the enemies, and there are a lot of them, which are already hiking me down. And it's too hard to not die. Okay, I will have to do this a couple of times, especially because I'm talking at it. It's even harder for me now. In the end, you are firing with the right one, so you don't have to push anything, but the right joystick is more or less telling you where you are firing. The left one is going to be navigating around, and you can of course try to run from them, and you should, because they are taking a lot of different hits till they really die. Here is one of the fireplaces I told you before, and it's too hard to do this game, if you ask me, because this is too small for such a joystick or whatever. You really have only a tiny portion there to move, and come on. This is all I can do. I really hate it. So please, next time, developer, at least do it, I don't know, twice or 3 times as large, and maybe even do not position it anywhere. Here you can easily see now how they are looking more or less too, which is a great thing. I think it's an alien or monster, I don't know. They have some kind of a probably a pistol or something in their hand, but they're not going to shoot at you, at least at the moment for me. And yeah, so sorry, I'm moving it around. So you can easily see this game is somehow a lot of fun, but still it would have to be a little bit different to really be a great game. For instance, as I said before, this is way too small, especially regarding the moving point. So if there is a middle point, that's maybe enough to work. But if you are going to go out of this and try to fire like this, it's not going to register anything new, and that's much too hard to play with. So if you want to have this challenge too, just try it out. I'm just going to try it again, but again, I'm pretty sure I can't do too much here. At the start, it's just very dark, which is a bad thing too. And now, if we now fire at somebody, maybe we can kill something once in a while. No. They are going to die, just to let you know, but I'm just going to die earlier, and there are a lot of them. I played this already, I had a couple of other scores there, so 100 or something, when I really killed a couple of them, but you already can see, you don't hit them with one hit or something, you really have to give them a lot of different hits to kill them, and they are just going to run through you, and if they are getting too close to you, you're going to die too. So it's really, come on, developer, please make that a different thing. There needs to be a better way to do this. I'm just going to try this one more time, and I'm just going to try to go to the fireplace, because otherwise I can't really see anything. It's too dark for that. And now if we are firing, I'm not even sure, maybe firing is going to trigger them too. And again. Yeah, maybe I get him, yeah. Now I got him, you can't see it because I just went too far from the fireplace here. As you can see, we are trying to avoid them, that's not going to work out here. Come on. They're just going to kill you very fast. Little bit of a higher score, but still much too much. Maybe it's because I'm not used to playing this kind of game, so maybe it's easier for somebody who really can use the joysticks in a better way. I am a desktop player for this kind of games. I would probably easily be able to do this. It's a little bit like the LOL games, more or less, so the additional ones, not LOL itself, League of Legends, but the additional ones which sometimes come there, where you are fighting against masses of monsters, more or less, coming at you. It's more or less like that, and for stuff like that, I highly prefer the desktop game. But hey, it's a challenge, try it out if you want to try it. Maybe it's going to be something for you. Okay, so, and the last game we're having a look at today, actually, oh come on, I'm just going to get rid of other games here, just to make sure that my smartphone can handle it. The last game we are going to play today is Lost Fish. Lost Fish is a game more or less like Flappy Bird with a little bit of catch and stuff like that. So it's not exactly Flappy Bird, but it has a similar steering theme to a certain kind of way. Let's have a look at that. Very hard to play too, just to let you know. I think it's a nice game somehow, so I really don't mind it, but it's a little bit hard to play. So Lost Fishy 3 is the name of it, and I'm just going to open it up and show you what's going on. done by Paper, Scissors, Rock probably, or Paper Rock game. I can't really see it because it's more or less gone here, and even if I go to the full screen mode, I can't really see anything. Anyways, the game itself is fine, it works, and sometimes I even get more or less far. So Flappy Bird games are hard to play for me in the end. But all you can see here is, hey, it's Flappy, Lost Fishy Free, or whatever you want to call that. Deep sea channels probably, and what you're going to have to do is you're going to navigate through those kind of underwater towns, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to collect this kind of coins there. The difference between this one is and Flappy Bird, for instance, is this is not a side scroller in itself. You're going to be able to go to different sides if you want to go to different kinds of directions if you want to, and that is done. I think it's going to be shown to you. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That is done by more or less move to the right, move to the left. So more or less tilting your smartphone will bring your fish or whatever that is in a different kinds of directions, which is a nice touch. Works, let's say, in the heat of the moment, not perfectly or something, but it's fine. It does what it does. If you tap, then it's going to start with the playing. And of course you can, for instance, go here if you want to have different kinds of environments. In the full version, in the free version, you're going to be stuck with this one, but in the full version you could go to different kinds of environments. And we are just going to start this now. And just tip somewhere in the middle, and as you can see, you can now use it as Flappy Bird by pressing, tipping, and you have to hold him up. If you are hitting one of the targets here, you're going to die. And yeah, to stay afloat, oh come on. Yeah, no. To stay afloat, you will of course have to press your touch screen a couple of times to more or less jump up and down. You already know about this kind of controlling scheme. I really do not like it. As you can see, I'm moving around here, so switching the direction too, that's possible. I'm not sure if it's really necessary in any kind of way, but sometimes I think it might be. I'm not sure if there is any kind of end. I got a couple of coins now. I'm not going to try that again because I really suck at these games. But in the end you can go through different kinds of channels there, so you have a little bit more freedom than in a typical Flappy Bird game or something. And yeah, I think it's much more forgiving than many Flappy Bird games, which are much harder even. And so try it out. It's still a very big challenge to go into higher level attitudes here. As you can see, somehow there's even some kind of a finish line. Finish line would be if you got all the coins, but who the heck can collect 183 of them? You really have to be insane more or less to do that. So try it out if you like the challenge. It's a nice one. And in this case, this is really a good game for going to be played on the touchscreen, of course. Unplayable again with the mouse. If you try that, it's not going to work out because it's just too hard to play these kind of Flappy Bird games without touch. Yeah, and this is more or less all I can say or tell you in this episode. I hope you had fun with it. As mentioned before, it's more or less a challenge one here, so all the games are very challenging in this episode. Hope you like them anyway, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, of course. If you didn't subscribe to the channel till now, do that now. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, see you around, and bye. Bye.